In this video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite defenses, tactically ignoring them. So we start off with a pretty standard Sicilian opening. Then once we get around here, I had made a pre-move. So that is when you click before you actually know what what the opponent is going to do. So you often make a mistake if you do that and guess wrong. I had guessed that he was going to move his pawn in here and threaten my knight, so I wanted to move him out of the way. And at the time, that would have been great because I would have been threatening his bishop as well. But he didn't do that, so that was a bit of a mistake, but it ends up working out in the end. So what I should have done in that position was instead move my knight over to e7 and threaten his bishop now. But I guess I just had to wait an extra turn for that. He decided to defend it, so I trade. But for some reason, he traded with this pawn instead of the c4 pawn. So now I get a free pawn. A few moves later, castling. Engine says it is a great move, and it is always a great move because you want your king to be safe and bring out your rook. I love whoever invented castling as a part of chess. Love the fact that it exists. Very helpful. So then bring out my rook. The engine wanted me to just move up my pawn, but I just did it in reverse order. Once again, thinks it's a great move once I finally do it. Yeah, because now that pawn is defended from the bishop attacks. And here is the topic of the video, why you should tactically ignore an attack like this. So if I did capture, he would capture back, and next move, his knight would be coming in, threatening just threatening my king, opening up my king's side, and possibly getting a checkmate. Let's say, for example, if I had done this, is that, I do whatever, he has mate in 2. So I've got to be very careful. So to defend against this, all I did was ignore it. I didn't capture the bishop. Instead, I went and threatened his queen. Because, well, he can't attack me if he has no queen. So he wanted to keep that strong diagonal, so he just retreated. I continued by moving my rook up with the intention of bringing in my queen to have a nice, strong, open e-file. The file's open, so I got to take advantage of it. As the engine just wanted me to defend the bishop so he doesn't have the option of trading and making my king vulnerable just in case the queen were to come here and try to fork me. But I wasn't too worried about that. Well, maybe the engine probably saw something 10 moves down the line. I didn't, but didn't think it was the biggest problem in the world. So he threatens my knight. I retreat. Also threatening this other knight. So if I get to capture, his pawn structure will be broken. That's always nice. He decided to capture before I got the chance to. I captured my bishop. Now kind of same effect as moving the bishop backwards to h8. So now he can't capture me and make me expose my king. But I did lose that h-file, or that e-file. So I am going to have to move that bishop away at some point if I want that file back. But I don't end up needing it, as you'll see in a minute. So I bring up my queen to a5, now putting a double threat on this knight, making him have to defend it because he can't run away, because then that leaves attacks on both his rook and his queen. So he's in a bit of a risky position here. He of course defends it and frees up that pinned knight. I added a little pressure on e-file, so when I do get to move my bishop, I might be able to get some sneaky attacks. He just did that so I don't have the option of doing that, and he also now has the option of coming up here and kicking my bishop off. So he moved that there to just get a stronger defensive position, but he blunders at the next move, which you will see. So I move that there with the intention of moving that guy up next turn. Also just gives me advanced pawns, and if you don't know what to do, moving a pawn up is never a bad idea. Well, it sometimes is, but it's usually not as bad as some of the other mistakes you can make. Now, this is the move that won me the game. So from here, I had to spend a lot of time thinking about this position because there's a lot of different scenarios that could happen. Firstly, if I capture, he could then capture with his queen. I capture, and then so at the end of all that, I'd be up a bishop, and most of the pieces come off the board. There is the other scenario. If I capture, there's just so many things you could do. If he captures with that, again, I can just make more trades, and I will come out up pieces. Pretty much any scenario I could find, I will come out up pieces. So captured, captures, and I captured with my rook, because now if he captures me, I get his queen. It's okay if he captures that afterward, because I can just run away. He obviously won't capture there, because then I'll just get a nice queen. I'll still be up by 3 points. So in this position, he resigned. I think it's just because after he noticed, after he captures that, I get his queen. And capturing that, it wouldn't be too bad. I'd only be up by 3 points, but having a queen in the end game is just a winning position for black.